Well, thank you, uplevelers, for tuning in. This is a quickie. It's going to be a short and quickie episode. And Rachel and I felt it was really important to set some context around what's coming up next week. If you're listening to this in the future, we are in the year 2024. And next week is the International Coach Federation, ICW, which is International Coaching Week. It's the celebration of the coaching profession.
Yeah, a week-long celebration where we as practitioners, as coaches, as clients of coaches, as trainers of coaches, take time to celebrate and honor our profession.
So, the way UpLevel, going on now 3 years, has been doing this is by curating a panel called the Wisdom from Our Elders. And Rachel and I tapped the shoulders of some of our elders, mentors, colleagues who have walked the path before us. And we want to talk to you about why we think that's important, why it's a big part of one, how we're celebrating the profession, but also why we just think it's so important in general to be honoring our elders and learning and listening to our elders.
Yeah. The coaching profession has come so far from its roots, from its beginnings. And it's really important. We feel it's really important to go back to those beginnings and understand what it was like for those players in the beginning. What was it like when no one knew about coaching? And how did their contribution, as well as many others, shape and create the profession now?
Yeah, because it is a newer profession. For those of you maybe who are listening who've been around from the early days, and then those of you that might be newer to it, it's another reason when you get to hear some of these origin stories from the original players, one, it definitely creates inspiration. And then for those who've been around longer, there's this sense of celebration. I mean, and that's why we choose to honor our profession in this way, because it creates that. And we think it's important to be celebrating coaching. I'm going to speak for myself individually, and I know Rachel will have something similar. Is like this technology completely transformed my life. It has and continues to, I'm coming up almost on 2 decades, been one of the most important catalysts to my healing and opened doors to help me access other modalities of healing. It has helped me have more effective, trusting, collaborative, supportive, deep relationships. This profession isn't just a profession, like, and you'll hear this next week when we release the Wisdom from Our Elders episode. And if you listen to past ones, is this is it's a skill set, it's a it's concepts, it's a way of being that helps us be in better relationship. So I don't know what's more important than that. Like if we're going to be spending time together on this planet, especially during these times, how can we be in better relationship? And I know coaching is one way to create better relationship, and that's why I want to celebrate it. What about you, Rach?
Yeah, absolutely. I echo everything you said, and coaching has had a profound and transformative impact on my life. It has made me hopefully a better person, a better mother, a better partner, just a better human in general. And it actually then, not only did it transform my life, it then gave me a purpose because I wanted to do the same for others. And so that is part of my purpose. And like you said, part of my being of why I'm here and what I'm here to do. And I became a coach because of that. So we should celebrate that. And we should celebrate as well, like we said, with the elders. For us, it's really important to pass down wisdom, to continue to pass down that wisdom and legacy from those who walked before us and those that will walk ahead of us, in the future.
And let's say more about why we choose to celebrate in this way. But first, I just want to talk about celebration
Yeah.
because, this is something that Rachel and I talk about all the time. And we do a lot of our work inside organizations. And if you're listening to us through that context, or perhaps you're a coach that does a lot of work inside organizations, we know that there is a pattern of behavior where a team or a group or a project or an individual achieves a goal, and then you just move on to the next thing. And
Hmm.
we step over that celebration piece.
Yeah. We deny
And
ourselves from it at times. We not consciously or subconsciously, we don't make time for it. And actually honoring and celebrating is about making time for it, making it as important as the goal itself. Taking some time to celebrate, honor, take a stand. And yeah, me and Christy have been continuously doing this in our lives. We are practicing this ourselves because I'll speak for myself, but I think I can speak for you as well, Christy, is that we easily move on to the next thing. Oh,
easily,
okay, great. We did that. Move on. What's next?
totally,
No, pause. Take a moment.
exactly. Be with, be with this thing that you wanted or that you were after, and now you're here in that moment. You've have that achievement, whether it's on the goal line or the soul line. How can you savor it? How can you acknowledge it?
Yeah.
And
Allow yourself to feel joy, right? We feel pain and sorrow and struggle a lot in our lives and maybe don't make as much time for joy and celebration.
And that's another reason why it's so important, given the times that we're living through. How can we amplify joy and celebration? So we choose to like tag on to what the International Coaching Federation is doing, which is to take the week out, and different coaching communities around the world are celebrating in their unique way. And
Mhm.
at UpLevel, we're choosing to continually celebrate by honoring our elders. And let us tell you why this is the unique way that we want to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, like we said, it's passing down of wisdom, it's passing down legacy, it's understanding where did we come from and where are we going. And what we love to highlight, we bring a group of people together with different lived experience. That's really important for us. And we want to hear their lived experience as a coach, as a human, and as the profession has progressed over the decades.
When we design these panels, write down from what Rachel is saying, like selecting which elders will come, and inviting them to come. Hopefully they say yes. To the questions that are curated, to the two of us listening while we're facilitating to see what voice would it make sense to come in now, or what question would be really good to pop in this moment. Our intention or stake, and what we mean by a stake, it's like this is what we're orienting the whole experience around and holding this context through is learn from our past or go extinct. Learn from our past or go extinct. And we believe that by honoring our elders, we honor our profession and we can start to or continue to see the way forward. The metaphor of the forest through the trees, and sometimes it's been pretty foresty. It's been pretty muddy waters. But if we listen to some of this wisdom, how can it show us the path forward? And
Mhm.
this is why we're choosing to celebrate in this way, or one of the reasons why.
And I mean, this is for all coaches and all people that experience coaching. But I don't know, for me, hearing the elders speak and where they are now in their journey and their experience is so heartwarming and also calming, because some of the struggles, and I'm not a new coach and I'm not an elder yet, I'm in this place in between. And I hear, and we train new coaches, so we hear some of the challenges, the struggles that new coaches go through, and to hear that they had gone through some of those, and where they are now in relationship to that, the wisdom that they have to share. There's just this feeling of
Yeah. I'm after this recording of 2024, and I know after the recording in 2022, and actually that wasn't a recording, that was a live
yeah,
one. So go back and listen to the we had over 500 people watching live while we recorded that one, and that was a unique experience. That was 2022, and then 2023 we did a recording, and then 2024 I feel something like what Rachel just described, very visceral when we stop recording and actually throughout the conversation, because there is such profound wisdom from those that have walked before us. And by slowing down, asking the questions, truly listening to the responses, not just like through our ears, but through our whole
taking it in.
systems. Yeah,
Yeah,
taking it in. Like I felt like this year I didn't want to leave because it felt so nourishing. I was using the word sweet. It felt so sweet. Like, oh, can I just stay here a little bit longer? It felt safe,
yeah,
and we talked about, you'll hear this when we introduce it before the episode, but each year, because we curate a different panel, there's a different synergy and chemistry, and therefore different wisdom comes out.
yeah. Yeah, for me, I used the two words deep and profound. It felt very depthful or deep wisdom and profound wisdom. There were these drops of wisdom, not even drops, they're like boulders of wisdom, not drops, that were landing in my system. Like, and I could feel it, like you said, viscerally, and it calmed me and it gave me hope, and I'm excited for one day, God willing, to be an elder and
Mhm.
be in their shoes. And I'm excited for the people listening who are new coaches, maybe in decades to come, will be the elders that someone else will be interviewing because someone else will be celebrating the profession in this way.
I love that. So you can hear how excited Rachel is, and so am I. We're like bubbling up because this is one of our favorite things to do, like curate these types of experiences. And if you envision our ancestors who really did a far better job than we are doing in current state, although some cultures do it far more effectively than I'll speak for myself positioned in North America. Some cultures do honor their elders. And Rachel and I are a stand for going back to some of these ancestral ways because there was so much wisdom to be tapped. And so if you envision we're all sitting around the fire and we're a ring around our elders, right? And they're in the close ring by the fire, and we're listening to them talk as a way to help us help us move forward, as a way to help us be more effective, not just as coaches, but as humans, as leaders, as we're architecting this new world together.
Yeah.
There's a lot more I want to say, but I will just invite people to go back to 2022 and listen to the Wisdom from Our Elders episode, and then 2023, and then listen to this one that will be coming out on May 15th as part of the celebration of the ICW, and notice the different synergy, chemistry, and
Yeah.
boulders. I like it. Rachel's up leveled. We call them bows, the bites of wisdom. They're these like questions we pop in that the elders haven't seen in advance, and they're meant to bring like spontaneity and just infuse energy. And we call them bites of wisdom, but you've just rebranded it. It is like a boulder of wisdom. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. They were profound. Yeah. And I agree. Go back and listen. There's a different vibe. There's a different time of the year, meaning it was done in a different year. Things have progressed. The world has changed. And so you'll see and feel the difference in each of the recordings, we hope. And this one, for me, felt like so much what we needed in this year and spoke to this year. And and to our profession and in celebration of it.
So I think that's what we want to say to you for now, and we'll invite you into these two inquiries. Like you just heard us talk about why celebrate, and
Mhm.
and you've heard how we are choosing to celebrate our profession, which is by bringing our elders together. So an inquiry could be like, what is important, or what is your relationship to celebration? You know, what would it be like to celebrate more frequently? And then perhaps an inquiry around elderhood. One of the things I was struck by the first year panel, and I spoke to it again this in 2024, it's not always about how old you are or even how much experience you are. There is a way of being that elders create.
Mhm.
And each year we ask that question, what does it mean to be an elder? How do you define it? And we get unique answers from each individual, but each panel brings its own energy to it too. So the inquiry for you is, what does it mean to be an elder? What does that look like for you? No matter where you are on the journey, age, experience, we want more of us to be tapping into elder energy because we believe it's a way to up level. We believe it's a way forward.
Absolutely. I don't think there's more to say. Sit with those inquiries. I'm sitting them with myself. We hope that you enjoyed the episode.
And we thank you for continuing to tune in to UpLevel and to our podcast. We appreciate you. And whether you're a coach in training, perhaps you're an individual inside an organization that's just curious about these topics, we honor you for your journey. And we hope that this brief conversation provides some insight and that what you hear in the coming weeks, or if you go back to past conversations, supports you as well.
Thank you for coming to learn, love, and up level with us.